Hello, I'm gonna show you how to replace this. If you have the G27 racing wheel from Logitech, you might have encountered the problem that I am currently encountering, that it's actually this leather piece here, or whatever it is, it's obstructing the path of the gears, which is really annoying when you're racing and you want to get in the correct gear. So what I did was I created a small piece of cloth here that's gonna go over this, and we're not gonna use this anymore. Alright, so what you need is a screwdriver, and you need a hex key, or the one that I have, a hex bit, which is a 2.5 millimeter to fit these screws around here. But first, remove this cap here by gently putting your nail underneath the plastic here and just lifting it up. In here you will see a small hole. That's where the screw is. So you remove the screw and it just comes off. And you'll see here that it's a flat surface. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's a small flat surface on this part as well. So you match those up. You can't really miss it. Alright, now to removing the screws here. Okay, and that reveals, removing this reveals the gearing mechanism, which is basically a screw on each side of this stick here, and when you move it here, it locks into place into one gear, and obviously there's a button or relay mechanism here that tells the device that you're pushing a button, basically. And same goes for the other side. So we just take this cloth here that I created, put the screws through the holes, and we don't tighten it too much so that we destroy the piece of cloth here. Wanna keep it as structurally sound as possible, and we don't create too big of holes so that it can actually hold the screws down, like so. Just put it over and make sure it lines up with the holes. Just screw them gently so that they're just in place for you to screw them in whenever you want to. So this of course means that there might be some dust that can collect, and that's not actually a very big problem, since there are no electrics in this area. There's just moving parts here. It should be able to take some dust, and either way you can just open it up and clean it out from dust, and then just grease it up again with some regular grease. Okay, and the last one. Very difficult when you can't actually see what you're doing. Right, there we go. I think, yeah, okay. And what you do is just screw them down. Okay, there we go. You know, it's not the prettiest, but it works, and now nothing gets in the way. Because this cloth here is so thin, it won't obstruct the path of your gearing. And you know, you can't get big stuff in here because of the way I made the cloth here, just by cutting a hole in it basically. Or cutting a X or whatever you want to call it, so that it can move in, you know, move freely. So what you do is you realign the gear knob. Oops, dropped it here. You realign the gear knob. Okay, can only go one way. If we, yeah, so in with the screw again. Screw it down. Now with the cap. There we go. And now we have an easier way of making taking our gears. And you can save this, so if you wanna sell it later on, or if you wanna just modify this piece, you can actually just remove it. It's just using some glue here around, so you can basically just take it around like so, just simply pulling, and it should come loose. Or you can heat it up and, you know, loosen the glue, and then replace this part with lighter cloth or something, maybe even some mesh cloth or something, so that you have full protection. But it's still, you know, getting this part free here helps a lot with the grip of your hand when you're doing your gears. So yeah, that took roughly 6 minutes or so. And, you know, cutting a hole in the cloth isn't really that difficult either, so you know, it should probably take less than 10 minutes to do this. And yeah, and it's gonna change the way it feels, because there's no resistance whatsoever now. When I'm doing these gears, there's no resistance, which means that I won't miss a gear, basically. I won't miss a gear when I'm doing this, which is sort of what I wanted with this. So it's a very easy mod, you don't destroy anything. The only thing that you might get is some dust in here, but as I said, it's very easy to just, you know, maybe take a vacuum and vacuum it out, or just open it and cleaning it all through, and then putting some grease where there was grease previously. So yeah, that's it for this time. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. See ya. This is an addition to the previous mod that you saw here, and it's basically the part behind the stick here, which makes a lot of noise, and we don't like noise, or I don't like noise. So what I'm gonna do is show you an easy way to get rid of the noise without actually opening the gear device, or whatever you want to call it, the gearbox. So what you do, you need two things. You can use tape, or you can use a small piece of cloth like this one here. Can actually make it a bit smaller. Alright, so what you do is up here or up there, doesn't really matter. It's really easy to get behind using the credit card. There we go. Now you're behind there. What you do is you put the cloth right behind, inside here. Now it's behind there. And the sound is gone. Now all you hear is basically, you know, the acoustics of the device itself. You know, either where I press it, there's gonna be a sound, but the sound from that you heard previously is basically, it's just loose. I haven't actually opened it yet, so I can't see what's inside, but I'm guessing it's just by like some fastening plastic pieces that just hold it there. And now with the cloth, it's actually stretching it a little bit, so it's being pushed with the fastening brackets towards or outwards, so that there's no actual space in between where noise can plastic against plastic, you know. So yeah, that was also, you know, a very easy way of getting some extra bang for your buck out of this wheel. I'm gonna be making some more mod videos, simple ones as usual, or not as usual, obviously. I've really made a lot of videos, but I'm gonna make like small mods that are gonna change your Logitech G27 to the better without spending a lot of money, as we saw earlier. The the cloth mod for the gear lever. It's a very cheap mod. It's not. You can basically just use an old shirt if you want to, and you're getting a better feel in the gearbox because you're not having to force the leather that's already there, which makes a lot of difference when you're in a tight race and you wanna do fast gearing or whatever. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.